Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Admiral Cisco has returned. Well, it looks like that Simon has went independent of JayPee and Wolf Spirit Radio and is doing his own thing. I think he's working with some woman because he's got some woman answering the questions, and this is his very first show going solo of JayPee. It was about an hour long. Some of the questions, well, I'll say most of the questions that he got asked were different from the questions that he was asked in the past. But of course, one caught my attention because it dealt with extraterrestrials that were non-white skinned. I want to let you guys listen to it, and then I'm going to give a short 2-cent commentary on just my views on what he had to say. But let me start that video for you right now. Here we go.
Okay, Matthew asks, an artist named Robert Limos had an encounter with male and female reptilian aliens whom he viewed looking at him through the flying saucer window. The female appeared to be wearing a tiara. He felt that they were friendly and they were appearing to him because they knew he was an artist and would paint them. What are your thoughts, please? And the pictures are found easily online.
Right. This is the picture I think that you showed me beforehand. Right. This is very interesting, and we're going to try and get this picture up on the website so that you can have a look at that. I'm really pleased about it because normally we perceive aliens to be white, and that's never sat very comfortably with me, frankly, when I know that it's not the case. This particular group are a black group. They're very benign, very friendly. I have encountered them, though I can't say that I'm anything like an expert on them, but I have encountered them. They are not reptilian. The questioner uses the word reptilian. I can understand that because when you look at them, you would see the scales, you would see the whole shape, but the correct term is amphibian. They are a hybridized form of human and amphibian. They are black-skinned. They model themselves a little bit on human culture. That's because they have existed in the oceans of this planet. Between 5'8" and 5'10", something like that, not particularly tall, and do wear clothes. A very benign group, the sort of group that would not get involved in the human side. You know, they wouldn't want to be involved. So yes, I'm familiar with that group, and that, to me, when I saw the picture, that is as I remember them. I think that's a very accurate rendition. You know, and sometimes, you know, either people see these things for real, or they have a download of information and they create them, and they'll say to me, well, you know, I've never seen this, I just made it up, I just thought about what there might be and I did it. And I'll look at it and say, well, there's something going on here because this is accurate. So yes, you may never have seen them, and you may think that you have just on a quiet Sunday afternoon sat down and done a drawing just as you wanted to, but something has come in and given you that insight. And when I looked at the photographs, then I was quite convinced that I'd seen these beings before. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Thank you.
Okay,
that's the only clip that I wanted to show you guys from Simon's debut video of being solo. I'm not going to say much about this. I do have a theory about that particular question being selected, and not for me to gloat, but I personally believe that Simon is under a lot of pressure. Somebody referred my videos to him, and he was like, oh shit, you know, I got this crazy woman that's accusing me of being a pedophile. And then you have good old Admiral Cisco. He's been all over my ass because I don't talk about black extraterrestrials enough. So we better have a question set aside, you know, pre-show, and be ready to show the black viewing audience that there are black extraterrestrials. That's how I took that, y'all. Simon's under tremendous pressure. He knows he's under tremendous pressure. And that is why that question came up. You know, and I find it real interesting, you know, that JayPee kicks his ass off. A couple of weeks later, Simon resurfaces with his own show, and he's got a woman in the background kind of narrating the video, you know, answering the questions and shit. And, you know, that particular question comes up after how long you've been online, Simon, and people have asked you about black extraterrestrials, and you fucking ducked and dodged them every fucking chance you got? And I'm supposed to fall for this? Hopefully, my viewing audience doesn't fall for this. You got stuck in a corner, and you had to pull a card. Then you had to pull the black extraterrestrial card. No kudos from me. I'm glad you answered the question, but you still get no kudos from me. You know, I would like to hear more about the Baccaratinians that contactee Mikhail Desmarquette talked about in his book, The Uber Prophecy. That's the one I really want you to talk about. Let's see if you ever go there about them. Or how about some of the ones that Dr. Malachi Z. York talked about? God, what was the name of that planet? It was the black people with the afros that had the big heads. And they were from Reskeet or something, some planet. I'd love to hear you talk about them. I would love to hear you talk about the black guy, extraterrestrial, that Dr. Delbert Blair talked about. And the one that Amari Riviera Toro out of Puerto Rico talked about. You know, the guy, he was on Unsolved Mysteries when I was a kid back in the 80s. Anyway, Simon, no kudos, no brownie points. I do thank you for talking about it, but that's still not good enough. We need more. This is Admiral Cisco, signing off.